I think we still got to wait and see. Not that I don't have incredible confidence in him, but I just want to see if he does bring all those different things on Saturday. We know he does in the locker room. I know he does in some of these social issues that we've had. Just a guy from a different place, from whether it's from Louisiana, born and raised, or even coming from Notre Dame. It's always great to have other perspectives in all that's going on.
The situational stuff that you're doing, would you have done that earlier under normal circumstances, or is that kind of the normal?
We would always do it in our mock game. Some of those situations we do a little bit more in camp. Camp kind of was a little bit different in a lot of the different situations. I think early on we didn't have some of those opportunities just based on what was all going on. Not that we didn't have practices. I think we got a lot more just play it situations in camp, because I thought that was what was best for us at the time, and all the different things that were going on in the guys' head. The thing that settled them down and calmed them down and allowed them to relax and have some fun more than anything was just playing. Sometimes doing those situational things and 3rd and 20s and 8 seconds to go in the game are not exactly things that with all else that was going on, it was probably the best time spent. So we got to get them in now.
That mental part at camp that you were talking about it and manage, how is it? How do you feel like it's gone since you guys have come back and since classes?
I think it's helped us. I think the discipline of things is really helping us. Things we have to make sacrifices for off the field, we have to do the same thing on the field. But all those things are things you believe and things you've worked on, and until you actually see them, kind of come to a head out there on a Saturday afternoon when the pressure's on and things and the lights are on. I think that's how.
What was that?
That's scripted.
We just found out that there will be family and immediate family at the games. John Cunningham, that was important to him. Is that also important to you to make sure the families are there to watch these guys?
Yeah, I appreciate them and President Pinto and them, thinking first and foremost for our players, the guys that have put a lot of the work in and had to make the tough decision to continue to do this thing. And it hasn't come without some ups and downs and some sacrifices that they've had to make. And I think that's a great reward to those guys. It's not what everybody wants. Everybody wants the place packed and to have an atmosphere like Nippert Stadium can be. But from the get-go, I said no matter what it is that we do, we want to make sure we can take care of our kids and especially their families more than anything.
Are you afraid you're going to break protocol with all your family? You're going to have to.
I don't exactly know what the protocol is just yet. When they say immediate family, I said you got to be careful of what you're talking about because for some that could you might have to enlarge the capacity of our stadium.
There's been some talk about emergency head coaches, or the guy who would take over any kind of form. You had that person.
Yeah, we're going to bring my wife in. We're going to let her. She says she could do this. Obviously Coach Freeman would be the first guy really, from what we've said, to step in. And then we've also done that offensively and defensively. And we've asked Coach Dembrock to say, hey, today Coach Dembrock's out. So Coach Gino, you got to call the thing. And Coach Freeman's out. And Coach Hitch, you got to call it. Coach Perry, you got to call it. And so we've kind of went through a lot of those scenarios, hoping we don't have to use them. But I don't want the first time to be a Friday afternoon. We'd have a rapid test, and all of a sudden one of us is out. But I think the great thing is we believe in the guys that are here, and just like the players, if somebody goes down, somebody else got to step up. I think we feel really good shape that no matter what, whether it's me, whether it's Coach Freeman, Coach Dembrock, whoever it is, we've got some people that can fill in and do maybe even a better job. I'm not sure my wife will do a better job, but I wouldn't say that out. I wouldn't say that publicly.
What do you want us to
cut that.
Where does Coach Danu?
What's that? Well, he obviously would be the first guy to come in defensively as well, and that's why it's really key for us to have a lot of those guys. There was almost a rule that the Big Ten was pushing early on in the COVID about everybody that's on your staff is an eligible coach, just because of how you have to practice and maybe those situations would arise. They didn't end up clearing it, they didn't pass it, but obviously either offensively or defensively, he would probably be the first guy that we would activate and put in that role.
Random, but what have been
you are random.
Random, but what are your thoughts on Armand Ben's been since he's joined you?
No, he's done a great job. And again, he brings something different. Kind of, obviously Austin Bujanok was a guy that was here from the time we came in here, and those guys are invaluable. I don't just mean about a great coach that he is and all the places that he's been, but the love, the passion for this place in general. That means a lot to me. I think it really means a lot to these guys. That's what we want to build. and to have a guy like that comes back, I'm not saying taking a step backwards, but obviously from being a full-time coach and coming back in a role that's not a full-time coach. I think a lot of these guys realize like how special this place is to him and what he did here. And that's what I want to create. We talk about earn it, own it, and represent it. And he's exactly what we preach. We said there's a few left, and he's got Christmas presents for the next few years. As long as he stays here, we will provide it for all of his family.